Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode of Sunday Brunch. Thank you so very much for being with us again. Assalamu alaikum, Sayyidina.
Alaykum assalam wa rahmatullah.
So today's topic of discussion is interfaith dialogue, and I just want to use this opportunity to say that it wasn't something that was coined in the 21st century. It has deep roots in history. And Rasulullah, Imam Sadiq, Imam Rida alayhi salam, they're all advocates of this process for people to engage in interfaith dialogue. So my question is, why is it so important that such characters supported it?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I think before we engage in talking about the Prophet Muhammad or the Imams and the leaders within history that engaged in interfaith dialogue, I think it's also important that we shed some light on to the Quran. And see what the Quranic perspective is on this topic.
Absolutely.
Why? It's because we as Muslims believe that the Prophet Muhammad is obviously our leader. He is the leader of every Muslim. وَلَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. God orders us in the Quran that we must seek the example of the Prophet in our lives and make him our exemplary figure and emulate his sunnah. However, who is the leader of the Prophet himself? We as Muslims believe that the leader of the Prophet Muhammad was the Quran. لا ينطق عن الهوى. He does not do things of his own self. And that is why we are ought to follow his footsteps, because he was someone that everything he did was
Divine
a direct
and godly,
order from
right.
God to him. So his leader is the Quran. So for us to understand the Prophet and those who follow the path of the Prophet, we have to really examine the Quran. And we find that within the Quran, God, first of all, recognizes all the different religions that existed in the time of the Prophet Muhammad. He acknowledged, God the Almighty acknowledges their existence. Now, obviously, we can't say that all of them were perfect, all of them were following the correct teachings of the prophets at the time. However, God recognizes their existence on many occasions within the Holy Quran. For example, I'll read one ayah, which is of chapter 2, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 62. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, the believers, وَالَّذِينَ هَادُوا, and the Jews, وَالنَّصَارَى, and the Christians, وَالصَّابِئِينَ, the Sabians. So those were the four major religions, Abrahamic religions, that existed at the time of the Prophet Muhammad. من آمن بالله واليوم الآخر وعمل صالحا فلهم أجرهم عند ربهم ولا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. God, in fact, not only recognizes them, but says any of those individuals who believe and engage in righteous acts, then God will reward them. God will acknowledge their good deeds. And I think that's more than just recognition, that is honoring them. Which brings us to taking a very quick look, because I want to engage in talking about interfaith dialogue. Chapter 109, Surah Al-Kafirun, the disbelievers. The message of the chapter is, قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ. The Prophet is asked to initiate the conversation. قُلْ means you, Muhammad, start this conversation. قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ لَا أَعْبُدُ مَا تَعْبُدُونَ. I will not worship what you worship. What would they worship? They weren't worshiping one God, because other verses indicate that the way the Prophet was supposed to speak to the people of the book, which were the Christians, the Jews, and the Sabians at the time, was قُلْ يَا أَهْلَ الْكِتَابِ, O the people of the book. قُلْ يَا أَهْلَ الْكِتَابِ تَعَالَوْا إِلَى كَلِمَةٍ سَوَاءٍ بَيْنَنَا وَبَيْنَكُمْ أَلَّا نَعْبُدَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. We believe in one God. So when this chapter is talking about the disbelievers, it's talking about the idol worshippers. لَا أَعْبُدُ مَا تَعْبُدُونَ. I will not worship your idols. And you will not worship the one God. In the end of the day, لَكُمْ دِينُكُمْ وَلِيَ دِينِ. You keep your faith, you keep your way, and I will keep mine. Where does it in the Quran say that people should be killed based on their belief, based on what they worship? Even those who deny God's existence, even idol worshippers, God in the Holy Quran makes it very clear that they can keep their faith, do their own thing, and you do your own, and we live in harmony amongst each other. It is something that is extremely crucial in today's world, and at times like this, when you find some world leaders attacking religions, when you find world leaders attacking minorities, sometimes bluntly attacking the religion of Islam, and so also some Muslims attacking other religions.
Muslims attacking each other even. And
Muslims attacking each other, unfortunately. For world leaders, for religious leaders to come together in dialogue, it is very important. And it's not something that people think, oh, this is some sort of diplomacy. This is something that you do on the side. Well, it's not as important as other things. This is the most important thing that needs to be done today. 1, 3 things need to come out of interfaith.
Goals, okay.
3 goals. 1 is understanding. I want to understand other faiths. As a human being, what do Christians believe in? What do Jews believe in? What do Hindus believe in? And for them to know what Muslims believe in. For me to know what other sects within the religion of Islam believe in. And once you don't know, you start accusing them. For the longest time, people accused other religions that, oh, those guys are not monotheistic. They don't believe in one God. But once you engage with them, you realize, no, they do believe in one God. That's 1. Understanding. Education. Number 2, teamwork.
Right.
Like the Quran says, قُلْ تَعَالَوْا إِلَى كَلِمَةٍ سَوَاءٍ. Let us come together in one common understanding, that one commonality, that is worshipping one God. Now, can we come together and do great things? Obviously, we can build hospitals, we can build roads, we can fight crime, we can
make
eliminate drugs,
place.
And
right.
All sorts of things can happen when imagine if those 3 world religions united, the Abrahamic faiths. And number 3, tolerance. The world has seen enough bloodshed, enough people have been killed. There is enough violence within history based on different religions, and religion is meant to get us closer to God and make us more godly. And I highly doubt that any religion's true message would be to kill other people, to even disrespect them, let alone kill them. So I want to say this: in the year 2020, at least for our communities, at least those who hear us, and to open their doors for interfaith dialogue. Let their centers and their mosques become the hubs of unity amongst different faiths. And I especially urge those living in the West to make sure they adopt this tradition immediately.
Inshallah ta'ala. Thank you so very much, Sayyidina. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time, for being with us. Make sure to share your comments, your suggestions, your inquiries, anything you have. Inshallah ta'ala, we'll try to discuss them on further episodes of the show. Until another Sunday brunch, same time, same place. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.